Roger had always been known as a successful man. At 45 years old, he owned one of the largest companies in the city's financial sector, occupying a luxurious office at the top of a skyscraper, from where he could see the entire city. But despite all the wealth, expensive cars, and international trips, Roger was a lonely soul. The company's employees knew that Roger was demanding, impatient, and rarely smiled. Many were even afraid to cross his path in the hallways. Few dared to question his orders or try to talk about anything beyond work. Loneliness was his only companion, and he seemed comfortable with it. At least, that's what everyone thought. Those who saw him from afar, with his impeccable suit, cold gaze, and rigid posture, would never imagine the pain he carried in his chest. He had lost his wife and young son in a tragic car accident nearly 10 years ago. Since then, he vowed never to open himself to love again, becoming someone rude, distant, and sometimes even cruel to those who tried to get close. Because he was rude, many people did not want to work for him. Roger was always forced to look for new employees. His bad reputation hindered hiring. Those who accepted to work for him did so only out of financial necessity. One day, Roger's longtime cleaning lady decided to retire. She was old and tired of working, and now needed to take care of her health. She was the only one who accepted and understood him. After all, she knew the real reason behind Roger's harshness. So, Roger found himself forced to look for a new maid. It was then that Isabella entered his life. A 30-year-old Latin American young woman, Isabella had gotten a job as a cleaner at Roger's company to help her widowed mother and support herself. She possessed striking beauty, long dark hair, brown skin, large expressive eyes, a sweet smile, and a way of walking that conveyed a mix of delicacy and natural sensuality. But behind the charm, there was a woman who also carried scars. Isabella was afraid to give herself to love, as she had already suffered too much from past relationships. She preferred to keep to herself, focused on work and family. One night, Roger stayed late at the office, reviewing reports and contracts. The building was almost empty when he heard soft footsteps and the sound of a cloth being wrung out. Looking up, he saw Isabella cleaning the conference table. She didn't realize she was being watched and was softly humming a song in Spanish as she cleaned with delicate and precise movements. Roger, used to having control over everything, felt uncomfortable with that unexpected presence. "You shouldn't be here at this hour," he said with a harsh voice. Isabella was startled, but soon recovered. "Sorry, Mr. Roger, I'm just finishing the work. I don't want to bother you." He looked at her for a moment, expecting to see fear or submission, but he noticed only respect and dignity. She did not look away, nor did she try to justify herself. She simply returned to work, focused. For some reason, that affected Roger. He found himself thinking about the young woman on the way back home. In the following days, Roger began to notice Isabella more. He noticed that she greeted everyone with a smile, helped her colleagues whenever she could, and never complained, even when given extra tasks. Her presence seemed to brighten the environment, softening even the heavy atmosphere of his office. One day, Roger lost his patience with an employee who had made a mistake. His voice echoed through the corridors, chilling everyone's blood. Isabella, who was cleaning a nearby room, heard everything. When the employee left with his head down, she approached Roger. "Sometimes people make mistakes because they are tired or worried, sir. A little kindness can help more than a shout," she said softly. Roger was surprised by the boldness. No one had ever dared to speak to him like that. But instead of getting angry, he became thoughtful. For the first time in years, someone had touched his hardened heart. From that day on, Roger started talking more with Isabella. At first, they were just quick exchanges of words, almost always about work. But little by little, he began to open up, talking about his childhood, his passion for classical music, and even about the outings he took with his young son in the park. Isabella, in turn, shared stories about her family, Latin parties, and the dreams she had for the future. What began as a shy friendship soon turned into something deeper. Roger realized he missed Isabella when she wasn't around. He liked hearing her laugh, seeing the sparkle in her eyes when she talked about something she loved. Isabella, in turn, felt safe beside Roger, as if she had finally found someone capable of seeing beyond appearances. But not everything was easy. Isabella's family, traditional and distrustful, did not look favorably on her involvement with a rich and much older man. Her mother feared that Roger would make her suffer, while her older brother thought he only wanted to take advantage of his sister's beauty. Isabella tried to explain that Roger was different, but the memories of her former boyfriend still haunted her. On the other side, Roger's partner, an ambitious man named Henrique, began to suspect the relationship. Fearing that Isabella had her eye on his friend's fortune, Henrique tried to warn Roger, saying that she only wanted money and status. Roger, however, was not swayed. For the first time in many years, he felt truly alive and was not willing to give up that feeling. Despite the difficulties, the love between Roger and Isabella grew. They began to meet outside of work, walking together in the park, dining at small restaurants, or simply talking under the stars. Roger allowed himself to smile again, and Isabella learned to trust, leaving behind the fears of the past. On a special night, Roger took Isabella to the top of the building where he worked. Under the starry sky, he knelt down and, with tears in his eyes, asked Isabella to marry him. She, moved, said yes, feeling that she had finally found true love. The news of the engagement caused a stir. Isabella's family remained hesitant, but upon seeing the sparkle in their daughter's eyes, the mother eventually gave in, realizing that the love between them was real. Henrique, the partner, tried once again to convince Roger to give up, but seeing that it was useless, he gave up for good. The wedding was simple but full of emotion. Family and friends gathered to celebrate the union of two souls who had suffered but found comfort and happiness in each other. Roger, once a bitter man, now smiled often, embracing life with new hope. Isabella, once insecure, now radiated confidence and joy. A few months after the wedding, Isabella discovered she was pregnant. When she told Roger the news, he cried with happiness. It was as if life was giving him a new chance to be happy, to build a family, and leave the pains of the past behind. When they found out it would be a girl, Roger promised he would do everything to be the best father in the world. The arrival of the daughter brought even more joy to the couple. Roger dedicated himself to every detail of the baby's room, while Isabella prepared lullabies in Spanish to lull the little one to sleep. Isabella's family, previously suspicious, gave in upon seeing Roger's love and care, accepting him with open arms. The partner, Henrique, now regretful, apologized to Isabella, acknowledging that he had misjudged. Roger, generous, forgave him, and together they continued running the company, now with a much lighter and more harmonious atmosphere. Time passed, and Roger and Isabella built a full life, filled with love, respect, and companionship. The man who once swore never to open himself to love again was now an example of tenderness and dedication, showing everyone that true love is capable of healing even the deepest wounds. Isabella, in turn, discovered that it was possible to trust again, that there was someone capable of loving her for who she was, without expecting anything in return. Together they showed that even in the face of adversity, love always finds a way to flourish. And so, Roger and Isabella lived happily, teaching their little daughter that love, when it is true, overcomes any obstacle and transforms lives. Like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos.